When you think of the U.S. Navy, one of the most powerful tools in its arsenal is the Aircraft Carrier Strike Group. These massive, formidable fleets are the Navy's backbone, capable of projecting power anywhere in the world, from the Middle East to the Indo-Pacific. But just how fast can a U.S. Navy Aircraft Carrier Strike Group be deployed? In a world that moves fast, the ability to mobilize quickly is a vital aspect of the Navy's strategic advantage. The answer depends on several factors, but the U.S. Navy can deploy its aircraft carrier strike groups faster than many might imagine. The process starts well before the aircraft carrier leaves port. U.S. Navy aircraft carrier strike groups are kept at a high level of readiness, meaning that most of the critical preparations needed for deployment are already in place. In terms of equipment, personnel, and supplies, the Navy works to ensure that its carrier strike groups are prepared to deploy rapidly at any time. Once the decision to deploy is made, there is a considerable amount of logistical work that goes into ensuring that the ships, aircraft, and crews are fully stocked, fueled, and ready to go. For a standard deployment, this preparation can take anywhere from 3 to 5 days. This includes ensuring that the aircraft carrier is properly supplied with fuel, munitions, food, and fresh water, as well as loading the necessary personnel and getting the necessary maintenance done on any of the ships involved in the strike group. For example, a full aircraft carrier strike group typically includes an aircraft carrier, guided missile destroyers and cruisers, submarines, and support vessels. Each of these ships has its own unique role within the strike group, from missile defense and anti-submarine warfare to resupply operations. Ensuring all of them are ready to go means coordinating many moving parts. With modern technology and efficient processes, the U.S. Navy has become remarkably adept at getting strike groups ready in a short time frame. The ships and their personnel are trained to move quickly and decisively. Once everything is set and the decision to deploy is made, the aircraft carrier strike group can usually depart port and begin making its way to its destination. The aircraft carrier itself is capable of speeds up to 30+ knots, roughly 35 miles per hour, and with the supporting ships also traveling at similar speeds, the strike group can maintain an operational speed of around 20 to 25 knots, or 23 to 29 miles per hour. However, while these speeds may seem fast, it's not just about how quickly the ships can move. The real challenge is getting everything to its destination with the right amount of coordination. For example, in times of international tension or conflict, the U.S. Navy can deploy a carrier strike group much faster than it would for a routine deployment. With forward deployed forces stationed in areas such as Japan or the Mediterranean, the Navy can get a carrier strike group into an operational position within 48 hours. Sometimes even less, depending on the proximity to the location of the crisis. These forward deployed forces provide a rapid response capability, reducing the amount of time needed to deploy from U.S. ports to international waters. Once underway, the strike group doesn't operate alone. Its primary mission is to establish air superiority and support ground operations, which requires a constant flow of aircraft to and from the carrier. The U.S. Navy's ability to launch jets quickly from the carrier, often within seconds of reaching the runway, adds another layer of speed to the overall deployment. The aircraft themselves are capable of reaching their targets in a matter of hours, depending on the distance, providing an additional layer of quick response capability. Weather conditions and other unforeseen challenges can sometimes impact the speed at which a strike group can deploy. For instance, severe weather or maintenance issues might delay departure. Yet the Navy has contingency plans in place to work through most of these hurdles, ensuring that a carrier strike group is able to leave port and reach its destination with minimal delays. Maintaining a constant state of readiness allows the Navy to adapt quickly to changing circumstances, ensuring it can respond when needed. Once a strike group arrives at its designated mission area, it can stay on station for extended periods without the need to return to port, thanks to its logistical support systems. This includes the ability to conduct refueling at sea, resupply food and ammunition, and maintain its aircraft through specialized onboard maintenance facilities. The strike group becomes a self-sustaining floating city capable of projecting power or providing humanitarian assistance for months on end, all while operating far from any shore. For U.S. Navy leadership, rapid deployment is essential to maintaining global influence and responding to emerging threats. Whether it's a routine presence mission or an urgent response to a crisis, the Navy's ability to get its aircraft carrier strike groups to a region quickly gives the U.S. military a massive strategic advantage over other world powers. The flexibility to move thousands of personnel, dozens of fighter jets, and the most advanced weaponry anywhere in the world within just days, or even hours in certain situations, is one of the reasons the U.S. Navy is considered a dominant force on the world stage. The speed at which a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier strike group can be deployed is a direct reflection of the Navy's efficiency, technological prowess, and operational preparedness. From the moment a decision is made to deploy to the time the strike group arrives in theater, it's a complex process that involves highly trained sailors, officers, and support personnel working in harmony. This highly coordinated effort, backed by state-of-the-art technology and years of experience, allows the Navy to rapidly respond to any crisis, whether it's a military conflict, a humanitarian disaster, or a show of force in troubled waters. In conclusion, a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier strike group can be deployed in a matter of days, with the Navy able to move these massive fleets at impressive speeds. Whether it's departing from a home port in the U.S., from a forward deployed base, or in response to a global crisis, the speed and flexibility of these carrier strike groups are one of the key reasons the U.S. Navy remains one of the most formidable and versatile military forces in the world. A carrier strike group can project power, provide critical support, and maintain global stability, all while operating with unmatched speed and efficiency.